All right. Welcome to everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're from. I'm just going to check my sound here. I want to make sure the audio is good. And I'm going to share this out. If you guys can help share this out, if you join, share this to your communities. Yeah, so just a couple seconds here, we'll get started. I want to get started right away and just make a quick kind of update to what I was talking about last stream and where we're at in the markets. As always, this show is sponsored by PrimeXBT. If you want to support me, support the channel, please support PrimeXBT. Links are in the description. Join the Telegram. Links are in the description. And there's some other fun links to check out there if you want. They're all in the description. Alright, sounds good. Sound is good. And what are we looking at today, everyone? Let's see what's going on. So we're looking at we'll just start with the daily Bitcoin because that's what the title of the stream was. We're so back and Bitcoin's at 64,000. And so we had some lines drawn out here. Clearly this is anything underneath this is no longer interesting to us, so I'm just going to remove it quickly. So I think the green path is kind of the one that we're on, as you can tell. Had some sort of sideways action here and then finally pushed up through all of these. And we're above this sort of zone right here, the blue and the yellow. Basically between 63.8 and 62.750. As long as we're holding above that, I think we're really bullish and constructive. The one thing I wanted to look at was the weekly, just to see how it ended up transpiring. And it looks like the weekly was really strong and pushed up into the zone that we wanted. To see kind of a reclaim of this 62.750, and above that should be fairly bullish, moving up into the 69.70, and I think usually it's 3 touches. Third touch we go, but it's not really going to touch. It should just shoot right through. So we're hoping for that on BTC. Just going to get rid of a couple of these things that we don't really need to look at anymore, because now we're going to start looking up. It should be constructive of upward price, and as long as we stay above this 64, you can see this is a big volume node, then some bigger volume nodes between 66 and 68, then 69 and up should be pretty easy, I think, on this next move to break through all of this stuff. Again, this could depend on seasonality. A lot of people are saying, oh well, September's usually bearish, so I mean it could potentially range sideways for some of September in this price range, and then continue on up. So I'm just going to move this over and say that this is kind of where we're coming out. So there's a chance that it could follow that path. I was anticipating this taking a little bit longer, so if we can move it over to where I was anticipating, say right about there, it looks really nice actually on my presumption of what was going to happen. And I would say between the first week and the final week of September, at some point we should push up from this range, unless we do so sooner. So I would just keep your eye on where the market decides to go next. quickly want to look at a couple things like the VIX, because it is pushing back down into the range or the area that we were anticipating. It's tough to look at this on that sort of scale because you can see it lifts up out of there. So yeah, we came underneath this major trend line and then came back out of it. This was kind of like, okay, what happens here? I anticipated it would go a little bit higher before rejecting, but that's kind of the move that we're looking at now. I think it's this green one here. I'm not going to get rid of these lines just until it's actually guaranteed, like made it with some significant staying power. But the one thing on the dollar index, and I would put BTC on this just to show you guys. Bitcoin on a new price scale, and look at that. So it's almost like 1-to-1. We can see so basically as soon as the dollar started dropping, Bitcoin started rising quite significantly. So yeah, just kind of pay attention to that. That we're going to continue seeing uptrend in Bitcoin as long as we see a downtrend in the dollar index. Let me just get rid of that real quick. Oh, did I do the right thing? Yeah, I did the right thing. Okay. So one thing to say is that, you know, we were looking for a significant down move after it retests sort of this area. I don't know if it's going to retest, but this would be the spot to bounce if it bounces to retest up in the 102. So this is kind of what would signify a sideways move, or you know, potentially a little bit of a correction in Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to have a significant one, so I'm getting rid of this and kind of pay attention to this sort of move that I was talking about. Maybe I'll just draw it. So like this potential move, that would be good for risk markets. Actually, that would kind of be the bearish one. Let's change that to red. And then bullish would be kind of like bounce around here and then lose it. And then it would lose it again. So this would be your best case scenario. And then not the best, but eventually a good scenario would also be this retest. But I think once we lose this low now, so let's just actually put another line in there. Now once we lose this low, it's green lights big time for the markets. Not just crypto. I think you know, the indices, stocks, things like that are going to also boost. And one thing to pay attention to as well is this one. I actually copped this one off of a Twitter account, an X account, sorry. And you can see here we had this top sort of resistance, and then we broke out. This is global liquidity. This is like a lot of the M2s of different money supplies across the globe, creating a sort of indice of global liquidity. And we can see here, you know, global liquidity did break out, but now it's significantly moving to the upside. So yeah, I mean, keep an eye on stocks and indices as well. Like we can see MSTR is making a significant up move, 12% on the day. So yeah, quickly we'll check out USDT.D, and we can see exactly what we wanted, a big dump there. Bouncing off this, this is a pretty serious longer term trend line, so it would be ideal if we could break underneath this. Again, looking at this 5.24% level to be kind of the next straw to break, so that we can see some significant upsides in Bitcoin and altcoins. BTC dominance is staggering up at this level here. As we can see, it's just been moving sideways, but it is broken out of this little bit of a flag I was talking about, potentially moving up to this 59-60% target. We could see Bitcoin really kind of take the reins here for the next little while. Although, you know, my next one I'll talk about is Solana, because I see a lot of Solana strength right now, with these 3 charts turning around for the most part pretty strong. Sol ETH, Sol BTC, and Sol BNB are moving up. So, you know, we can see Solana moving up alongside those. I think, again, I would discount that this red plays out, but I want this to stay in here because this is an important thing, that that this area gets pushed above 160 and then we continue seeing upside. Otherwise, we could see a bit of a rejection here. If, again, the dollar makes a bounce, you're going to probably see this rejection on Solana. So that having been said, that'll lead us to things like Total. You know, Total moving into this resistance point. This is my gas line. So above this 2.2 trillion should gas up to about 2.5 almost. And then sort of same scenario on Total 2, but Total 3 is a different ball game, right? So Total 3 is actually looking stronger than the others. As long as we can stay above this 606 gas line, and then break out, I think we want to see some significant breakout of this resistance, of this longer form trend that we've seen since sort of the top in March, the top of this and this constant downtrend. Once this breaks out, you're going to see some of these memes really rip, as if they haven't already. I mean, we can take a look and you can see the memes have been ripping pretty hard. Maybe not stuff that I have in here exactly, but there are some memes that are ripping. I mean, the dog with hat's kind of bonking its head there. Same with bonking its head. You know, they're all looking basically the same, but in that circumstance, they are looking the same, close to Total 3. So you can see they're really close to this breakout trend line. If they can break out and sort of make up their previous highs and overcome them, then we should see some significant upside in the memes. Like we can see Doge is actually really, really close. And recently we actually have seen Elon Musk has been tweeting about Doge. So yeah, I mean, this one actually looks the best now that I'm seeing this. SHIB has already broken this this downtrend, but we want to see it overcome this recent high around the many not two. And then there's some like Slurf that, like, I mean, these just look dead, right? Hobbs, Pops, GME. This one looks a little bit better, but still kind of dead. Pepe to Apu, I don't know who was telling me about Apu. They were saying it around here, and it's literally gone down only since. Baked as well. I mean, we see this chart, it looks pretty dead, but once these start coming back, they're going to do exactly kind of what they did at the beginning here. They're going to do these parabolic moves, and you're not going to have much time to scoop them up. So I would, you know, pay attention. You can scoop them up. AI has been starting to make another wave. Again, we have things like WorldCoin that are looking a little bit better and breaking out of their downtrends. FET kind of looks the same, I think. Yeah, see, FET's like right on the cusp of the breakout here. This is where we kind of want to see some continuation. And that's why I was telling you with some of these AI plays not to rush into them, but to wait and see them overcome some of these previous highs, and then you can really work on that, right? Gary, I think someone kept coming in saying Gary, check out Gary Network. Look at this thing. Like, sure, it's come down from like it was at $1.50 at a point, and like, you know, people are like, oh, there's a 150x right there, but they were asking, like, I think around, I don't know where, but around here somewhere, and I said, let it get above this first, because see, it's only gone down. and that's pretty bad. Like, just this recent dump, if you put in a bunch of money here, that's 85% down. So these things can go down hard. But yeah, LTC, I know we talked about this many times before, and this was kind of dangerous that we've seen this breakdown, but we're still technically within this box range. So I think this box range, you know, it could potentially bang down here and then continue on up, or we could recover and sort of come back into this zone. But yeah, we can see this near most trend, I should say. It's getting close, right? Like all the other altcoins, it's getting close to a breakout. I know a lot of people are talking about ADA. Again, it's breaking out, but we want to see this recent most high get overcome first. That's what I would wait for. It's going to be way safer if you play above 46 cents. Now, are you going to be worried about this 17%? Okay, I'll just show you guys what I mean. So, are you concerned with that 17% when you're going to be targeting, like, you know, potentially these highs, 400% move? No, you're not going to concern yourself with 15, you know, the little sliver of this move. So just wait for it to get there, and then you'll be a lot happier, to be honest. That's the safer play. Another one a lot of people are talking about is AVAX. AVAX did make a very strong move from the lows, but look at this, we had this box range, right? So same sort of thing, and I bet you it'll line up perfectly to see that box range. Like, we did break out here, but that's the high that we want to overcome right here. So yeah, like, you know, 26 to 32, sure, you lose out on a couple gains, right? You lose on a little bit of gains, and it works out to feel like a lot more gains when you're talking about, you know, 26 to 260, whereas in 32 to 260 or whatever. But there's 22%. And this thing was up in the 150s on the highs. So if you were to wait, you know, you could make a 279% move. I don't think you're worried about that 22%. So I would just say, you know, caution you guys to have a bit of patience. BNB looking really nice, but it did right around this place that I was looking for, some kind of, you know, anticipated some sideways movement. It happened. I think that we see a significant bounce here as well on BNB, and it's going to kind of take the reins a lot. Like, actually, I don't have it on here, but people are talking about TRX, so we're going to add it into the list. Let's get the... Yeah, we can just use the perp off Binance. Doesn't really matter. It's going to be close enough. And the thing with using a perp is it's actually going to give you a little bit more input by knowing, is the perp more expensive or cheaper? And I'm going to move this way up here because Tron's actually making a massive move right now. So we can see here, this is kind of why I talk about what I talk about. Like, say you were to use this as the example, you know, this is your February, March top. It came back down and then it broke this. Once we got some staying power above this most recent high, then we can see, like, it went up, it faked out, and then it sent like a godsend, you know what I mean? So that's why I play this how I play this. It works, you know. And then this would have been your, you know, a bit of a signal right here to get in. But look at how fast it moves up, 6%. 6%, and then 12%. So it went up like 19% in 2 daily candles. That's insane. That's super fast. Super fast. So the one thing to pay attention to now, I would say, is this high to be overcome. Above 18 cents, this thing could really just light up, because at that point you're in price discovery. So yeah, I think Tron's worth paying attention to and getting an entry if you can on a lower time frame. You can go to the 4 hour, you can go to the 1 hour, and you could grab an entry on this. I think what I would look for is this. You could use this as kind of your guideline. So that's kind of what we look at. We're seeing this, flat top wedge that's working its way out, and you want to see that. Worst case, that, and you look for entries in here, right? So of course the safest play would be to wait until you got above this, right? That's the safest play, but entries around here somewhere is pretty good, because you just put your stop under here, right? You put your stop under here, or under, under this range somewhere. Your safest place to put a stop would be down here, because then you're making a new low. But if you follow this as a trend, I think this is breaking out here, so definitely worth paying attention to, definitely worth looking for an entry on Tron, for longs for sure. Anyways guys, I didn't want to do a long discussion today. ETH BTC is still looking gnarly bad. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about ETH at all, because it looks gnarly bad. But things could change, because look at this nearmost trend. It could break up and we could see some change. Regardless, I would pay attention to Sol, and like I was saying, Tron is looking really nice, and Solana is looking really nice as well. But I think best case scenario for a lot of people is BTC takes the road, right? BTC dominance, it could pop up to this 60%, and then we see alt season pop off. However, we could see a mini alt season while this goes sideways, and then leading into Q4, we'll see some real fireworks. Anyways guys, check out PrimeXBT. Sign up in the link in the description. It does help me, helps the channel, helps them, and you can get some bonuses, so it's definitely worth checking it out. If you're gonna trade, you can trade also some S&P and things like that, gold, whatnot, alongside your crypto. So check out PrimeXBT, and this is Andy's Crypto Talk. I am telling you, go all in, long only, for the next few months. This is when you really want to pay attention. Lock in, as they say, and follow my channel for more. I will definitely keep giving you guys updates. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.